pleasure to rise on behalf of the Ontario PC caucus today to ask a question of the Premier regarding OPG. Speaker, obviously, the OPG has just made the Senate of Canada look like good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. And here we are today, and I have so much material, Speaker, and questions I don't know which to ask. The first I might ask the Premier is, how could she let handsome pension plans like those that are occurring at the OPG still continue? Another question I might ask the Premier today is, how could she only fire 3 executives when the rot and the corruption at OPG has gone so deep into that organization? I could also ask her how she could allow nepotism to occur to the level that it has at the OPG. But, Speaker, I won't. The question I'm going to ask is on behalf of the Ottawa Council of Business Improvement Areas. 19 business improvement areas in the city of Ottawa have asked the Premier this question. We urge you to please consider and work on the side of Ottawa retailers and job creators, on the side of Ottawa employees, and reconsider your crippling hydro increases. Will you do it?
Thank you. Stop the clock, please. You see it, please? You see it, please? Thank you, Premier.
Mr. Speaker, when the Leader of the Opposition was asked if he would freeze or lower rates, he said, no, I cannot do that, Mr. Speaker. That's for starters. But let's talk about his policy with respect to the Ontario power generation. His policy, Mr. Speaker, is...
I've got them up here. Carry on.
He would privatize Ontario power generation, Mr. Speaker. And the Toronto Sun, Mr. Speaker,
the member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, come to order.
Ontario.
Member from Leeds, Grenville, come to order.
Electricity generation
Time.
would lead to lower hydro rates. Instead, it led to exactly the opposite. Rates skyrocketed amid rampant Tory patronage, and the Conservatives faced with rising public fury, abandoned the scheme, leaving a financial disaster in their wake. His policy is to privatize, to try to do what he did last time, and that's what his Toronto Sun says about his policy.
Thank you. You see it, please? Supplementary.
This minister has a lot of nerve on a day after what was, I think, the most damning Auditor General's report since I have been in this chamber in 3 terms, to stand in his place and talk about a public policy initiative a decade ago, before his government was in office, before the taxpayers of this province were paying for their boondocks.
Order. The Minister of Energy will come to order. Thunder Bay Attico can come to order. Finish, please.
Let's just stick with the facts, Premier, Minister, government over there. The people of this province are stuck with your energy policies. Last week it was the long-term energy plan, which is driving up rates. The week before that it was the $1.1 billion gas scandal. This week it's the OPG, the new Senate of Canada, who is wasting taxpayer dollars and hurting the ratepayers of this province. My question is, will he listen to the ratepayers in our city, the Ottawa Business Improvement Council? Will you listen to them, and will you scrap your long-term energy plan, and will you put OPG in its place and fire more than 3 people?
You see it, please? You see it, please? Thank you. The Minister of Energy.
Speaker, first of all, to correct the record, the policy that I referred to was not 10 years ago. It was his white paper that he issued about
the white paper.
Mr. Speaker, the Tories' failed attempt to privatize the electricity system in the late 1990s led to a sudden price shock. In only a few months, the price increased by 30%.
Wow.
And it gets worse. Tim's, the Leader of the Opposition's proposal, could mean that OPG would have to sell off Niagara Falls Generating Station, one of Ontario's greatest assets. The last time they tried to privatize, top advisors were at the trough. Well-connected Tory insiders received nearly $6 million in untendered contracts from Hydro One. That's the National Post, Mr. Speaker. Tom Long, this leader's co-campaign manager, made off with $1.3 million in Hydro One contracts, Mr. Speaker. Toronto Star, January 10, 2004.
Wow.
And Leslie Noble, the firm of Hudak's other campaign manager.
You seated, please. New question.